So you got to try, when you're making these outplay touches, you always got to try to think, this is why it's important. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And that's great. That's so crazy, dude. Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another chance to learn something that you didn't know before that's going to make you a better Rocket League player, because that's what we're always here to do. You know, if you've been around for a while, that's the goal of this channel, is to make people better Rocket League players, make people better at the game, so I can stop having dookie booty teammates. Jokes aside, we've got a replay analysis for somebody who subbed to our Twitch so that they get their analysis done sooner. They submitted it into the sub-only replay analysis channel in my Discord. There is also a free channel if you are looking to get a replay analysis done, but you don't have any money to spend. You know, you don't mind waiting a month or two to get yours done. There's a free channel in my Discord where you can submit a replay analysis to get done. Link is in the description down below. But today we are analyzing KCJ315, and they are high champ 2. They said duo queuing with their friend, and they are playing some 2v2. So without further ado, let's get into it and see what kind of tips we can give Casey or Jay. I think their name's actually Jay. I don't know. Maybe it's KCJ. See what tips we can give them to help them get to champ 3 and then even grand champ, and heck, after that, SSL. Oh, okay, so this hurts me a little bit. This hurts me a little bit because if you've watched my replays before, you know I really like to keep things as simple yet effective as possible, and that stems from the very start of the game on the kickoff. So what I don't like about this play is that you're going off in this direction to grab boost on the kickoff, and the problem with that is your teammate who's doing the kickoff from the left side of the field is driving with all their speed and momentum to the right side of the field, and as they 50-50 this ball on kickoff, more often than not, what happens is they end up landing on this side of the ball. And so their next step after kickoff, you know, depending on the situation, might be to go to this mid boost, right? But if their person who cheated up, Ichigo here, beats him to this mid boost, well, then now he has to go back to the back corner boost. That's the next closest boost, right? Well, guess what? It's not there because you took it. That's why I prefer you to go for the boost always behind the person doing the kickoff. The boost over here. Because they are not going to need that boost because they're driving, like I said, in this direction. And they're going to be coming across this side of the field on the rotation back, most likely. And so there's almost never a world where they need the boost that's behind them. So it's better to take the boost behind the person doing the kickoff for that reason. And now you guys could have communicated that he was going to try to force it off in this direction, in which case this becomes slightly better. But again, like I said at the start, I like to keep things as basic and still effective as possible. It's just, you're not really gaining much from him forcing the ball, calling that he's going to try to force the ball to the right, and you going to the right boost. Your other option, of course, is just to cheat straight up the middle, either a soft cheat or a really close cheat. I would, again, recommend probably in 2v2 a soft cheat where you probably don't pass this boost pad right here. That way, you know, there's no ball that's going to fly over your head and be an easy shot for your opponents. And you can react and turn back defensively if you need to, off, you know, to defend a hard bounce off of the sidewalls. But bottom line on this first portion of the game, very first thing in the game, is you're grabbing the wrong boost. I really, you know, recommend watching some pros and some other high level players play 2v2, play 3v3. You always notice that the person who is going for boost is going for the boost behind the person doing the kickoff. It's just standard because it's what works the most of the time. Pretty good control so far, it looks like. I would really be careful about making this play here, though. Ended up working. But he did sort of just open up this path, right? If he doesn't miss this ball, I mean, he's dunking you super hard all the way back to your end, right? You're pretty much feeding the ball up into him. And you got kind of lucky that he didn't just drive forward and 50 the ball all the way to your end, because he would have absolutely destroyed you on this 50-50. And depending on where your teammate is, that could have been really bad for you guys. Luckily, you would have had somebody back. But again, look at this angle. The only reason he didn't dunk you here is just a personal mistake from him. And you don't want to, you know, base your plays and your decision making on one-off mistakes from your opponent. You should have gotten punished here for trying to cut this ball in front of your opponent. Honestly, there wasn't a whole lot else you could have done in this position here, besides maybe either grab this boost and then look for the bump on Ichigo to give your teammate a free ball to come in on, or just grab the boost and rotate out. But yeah, you got away with it. You got away with this play here. Touch could have been better there. You could have set yourself up slightly better here with this touch. I take that back. That was a real tough touch to make in the moment there. It's not too bad. Obviously, it's not great because the ball comes right out to the second defender there, which is the problem. Is you beat the first guy, but all that happened was the second guy gets a free ball. So really, the first guy almost pretty much beat you. Essentially, it's kind of a weird way to think about it. But if your opponent challenges and say you beat them, but all you ended up doing was giving the ball for free to the other teammate that they had, I mean, they technically kind of won that exchange. So you got to try, when you're making these outplay touches, you always got to try to think, okay, if I'm outplaying one, I need to be able to set myself up in this one touch. I need to be able to beat the first guy, but also stay close enough to the ball to beat the second guy as well, or to take a 50-50 at the very least with the second guy. That's the hope. You can't always do it, but you want to keep that in mind. It's just because you beat the first guy doesn't mean that that was a good play. You got to be able to do something that beats the first man and at least get to a 50-50 with the second man, or, you know, sets up your teammate. I think your teammate should have scored that. That's all right, though. It was defended. Definitely scoreable. Good boost grab there. Unfortunately, you got the demo there. I feel like that was avoidable. You could have jumped. Right here, if you jump up onto the wall here, you'll avoid his demo. Just something, it's a little extra work that you got to put in, but you would, I mean, it's really close. Like, it didn't really look like you were going to get demoed. I give you that. But just to be sure, you can't always jump as you're going over that boost, just to ensure that you're not going to get demoed. Nice block. Good grab on the boost. Not the best touch here, but you're being calm about it. You're not panicking. Beautiful outplay. Absolutely baited him in. All right, got to be careful. This is why it's important. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm oh my goshing so much out of personal struggle with this in ranked. People make this mistake even at GC so much. It's so tilting. This is why you need to, please, for the love of God, everybody watching this video, ingrain this into your head. Do not rotate ball side. Rotate away from the ball. Do not rotate ball side. This is for all you GCs out there, all you champ 3s, all you champ 2s, anybody who rotates ball side. This is why you do not rotate ball side. because as you rotate ball side and your teammate who can come into the play and challenge, right? You can come in and challenge this. But the issue is, as you rotate ball side and as he comes to challenge, there is this brief moment, not even that brief. There's a moment where you both players are going to be contesting the same area. And in that moment, Ichigo makes one touch. God forbid it's a shot on target, it's a goal. But even if he just makes one touch in that moment that gets the ball to midfield, it beats both of you guys. There's nobody back to contest the second man who can take a free shot and clean up the goal. And that is the issue in 2v2 and 3v3. When somebody's rotating into the play, when somebody's rotating ball side, that is why it's so bad, because the other person cannot and should not challenge the ball if their teammate is rotating ball side. Because again, as you come to challenge and as your teammate's rotating under the ball, one, you could get bumped by your teammate. Two, there's this brief window where you're both in the same exact spot, not covering different options, only covering one option. Your teammate here, you guys are partied up, so you'll be able to relay this information to him. Should have, as he came off that backboard, rotated back around behind you. You could be up for this ball, and if you get beat, well, that's fine. He's in midfield still defending as you get back. If you win the challenge, great. There's nothing to lose by, he doesn't get this nearest full boost that might be up. It might be replay glitch. I don't think it's up, but you need to ingrain that into your mind. Rotate away from the ball. Do not rotate ball side. Rotate opposite side of the ball. It is always better to rotate away from the ball than to rotate underneath the ball, rotate into the play to grab a full boost. Remember that. Remember that. Remember that. Remember that. And that's great. That's so crazy, dude. That's so crazy, dude. Dude, that's so crazy. That's so crazy, man. That's so crazy. The personal struggle that I've been going through the last couple days in ranked with people not rotating away from the ball, and it's so frustrating when people don't realize the mistakes they're making and they think you're just playing too hesitant because you're never going for the ball. I'm never going for the ball because I'm trying to avoid this exact thing that just happened to you guys. Bam, both in the same spot as your teammate rotated away from the ball, or as your teammate rotated at the ball. Bam, if he would have rotated out, he probably would be around this area, at least trying to contest this ball. Would have had to pick up pads, would have had to survive on pads, but yeah. I mean, that's exactly it. That's exactly what I was saying. I literally hadn't even played out the entire play, and I described literally exactly what just happened. So as your teammate makes this touch and as he rotates out, he needs to realize you're first in the rotation and he needs to be rotating behind you. You have the wider angle on the play, right? As you swing out to challenge, you're already rotated out of the play, away from the ball. Your teammate needs to rotate behind you, rotate away from the play, away from the ball. Bam, if I'm keeping up with where your teammate could be, let's do that really quick. If I'm your teammate, wave dash, bam, cool, we're out this way, bam, that happens, look at this, bam, that was a save, 100%. If he's picking up his pads as he rotates back, that was completely a save, and he has possession as he comes out of the corner. People, rotate away from the ball. If I have to tell one more person in my ranked games, I'm literally gonna link every single person who does it this video. Okay, unnecessary challenge here. This is another really common mistake. Not as bad as rotating into the play, but very, very common mistake. One, you completely can just ignore this guy and rotate around your teammate, let your teammate come in and challenge, right? You're trying to challenge the ball at this angle. Well, why not just let your teammate who's already like in a position to challenge that angle come and challenge that angle? You know what I mean? So one, your teammate you could have just left this for your teammate, rotated behind him, let him come and take this same exact challenge that you're taking right now, but at a better angle and in a less awkward position. But two, I mean, where's this guy going? He's air dribbling like, I wish I could draw 3D, but he's air dribbling to the sidewall. He's not doing anything threatening. All he's doing is wasting his positioning and his boost. You don't have to go up and challenge this. You have absolutely there's zero threat in this play. You have no reason to go up for this ball. So the really common mistake people make is making a play that is completely threatening by reacting stupidly to it. I'm just gonna say stupidly. I was gonna say sillily, but that's why I didn't say it. By reacting, you're just making this play that was completely unthreatening in the first place. Now it's threatening because he's baited you up into the air. He's wasting your boost. He's possibly gonna take a 50-50 with you, take you out of the play. You just wasted what, 70 boost and good positioning to go for a challenge that you had no reason to go for. And now, again, notice you rotated into the play here, and there's instantly a hesitation in you and your teammate on whose ball this is. You rotate into the play, you get bumped, and now in this exact moment, this entire exchange could have been avoided by just rotating around your teammate, rotating behind your teammate, rotating away from the ball. And now you're slowly approaching this ball because you're not sure if your teammate was about to go in this exact moment, right? Your teammate could be going. He did get bumped, but at this exact moment, he could be going for the ball. And I feel like you're slowly turning, kind of somewhat anticipating, okay, my teammate might be about to drive past me and challenge this. But bottom line, that entire thing, again, would have been avoided if you go back, rotate away from the play here. I understand it's a free ball. Your teammate's bumped here. But it's safely in your corner. You have zero boost. There's not a boost here for you to grab. So it's not like you can grab a boost and then make a play. Your best bet's just going to be to rotate out, grabbing pads, maybe taking this wider path. And again, the ball's safely in the corner. You'd be in net. Your teammate would be recovering from the bump, and there's really no threat. So it's just about how you react to the play combined with rotating into the play that makes this threatening in the first place at all. You made something from the aerial challenge that you didn't have to do to now you've completely made plays that weren't threatening at all, threatening by the way you reacted to them. Close on the 50. I like the pop here. The shot's going to be like your champ 2. So getting a nice high top left shot here is really asking a lot out of you. I'm not going to lie. So I like the pop here. There's 2 people in net. And the only way you're going to score this really more often than not is to get a really nice shot in this vicinity here. That's going to be a lot to ask from somebody who's champ 1 or champ 2. Even at GC, that's honestly pretty decent challenge. Shot placement is something that's really undervalued and really hard, and that's why pros are pros. One of the biggest reasons pros are pros is because they really work on basics like shot placement, shot power, and shot accuracy. That's something that not a lot of people work on, but it's one of the things you have to work on if you actually want to like go pro in this game. But because you realize your own capabilities and there are 2 defenders in net, take the nice high pop, try to make one of them mess up or both of them mess up and give your teammate an easier shot to take. So I like that. That was a good play. Okay. I'm pointing out a lot. I hope you're taking notes. Rewatch the video. Everyone, take notes if you want to take notes. There's been a lot of good information so far. Rewatch the video. Because I am pointing out a lot. But I feel like it's better that I point out a lot than not enough. And you're playing 2v2. So I really hate's a strong word. I really dislike the fact that you're trying to pass this to your teammate with an air dribble. One, this is a really great ball to go for a solo play on. Flip reset, an air dribble to the net, or maybe a ceiling shot, whatever you're comfortable with. Heck, maybe even just chipping the ball up and then trying to power shot it, right? Just any solo play here is a good solo play, honestly, in the air. But if you're going to pass this, which you can, it's okay to pass sometimes. But passing this with an air dribble is a no-go. In 2v2, you do not want to pass to your teammate with an air dribble. If it's not obvious, the reason being is you're bringing yourself all the way to the play, all the way to the pass, right? You're air dribbling the ball to your teammate. And so again, just like with rotating the play, rotating into or underneath the ball, we have that same issue where for a moment you're both in the same exact spot and all it takes is one challenge to beat you both. And that's exactly what's about to happen, because this time I did play it through before I rewinded it back. But that's why this pass is a no-go. You're playing 2v2. There's only two of you, and you're putting both of yourselves, both of you guys, in the same exact spot, just asking to get challenged and beat both at the same time. It's a really good pass from your opponent. Luckily, his teammate wasn't ready for it. Ooh, the double jump. If you hit the ball, it's not bad. I feel like you could have just single jumped and flipped into this. The double jump attempt is faster for you to get to the ball, but the shot's not going to be as fast. I feel like a single jump to just a flip into the ball here, you probably would have scored. Unfortunate. It's kind of hindsight. Hindsight's 2020, right? Same issue as before. Going for the wrong boost. You should be going for the boost behind your teammate. Now, again, you guys might be calling for this, that he's going to try to force the ball in this direction, in which case this is less bad. But I would definitely advise, try just sticking to the standard kickoff. It's standard for a reason. It's the most used for a reason. It's because it works the most of the time. So I would really like to see you go for the boost behind your teammate if you're going to go for boost, or cheat up the middle of the field. It was slightly better because you didn't completely commit to this challenge and you didn't completely dive at this ball. You didn't do anything that took yourself out of the play, and you didn't make something that really wasn't threatening right now into something threatening. So good job there. The only thing is you were a little ball chasey, a little challenge chasey, we could say. Like, you grab this corner boost and then your teammate's in net, right? You can let your teammate have this next challenge here. He's behind you. Let's take a look at his perspective. I pressed the wrong button. Bam, your teammate's got lots of boost, and he could go for this ball, actually. If you guys are in comms and you're communicating and he can call this ball, then he can go. I just think, you know, it's not too bad. It's not much to say, obviously. I'm having a hard time really finding the flaw in this play. But you grab the boost, and then you turn for the ball, right? Your teammate could have gone for this, but you turned up for it, so he didn't go. And then you turned off the ball. Okay, now your teammate can go again, right? Because you turned off the ball, you went, and then you didn't go. And then you went again, and then you didn't go. You know, you just try to incorporate your teammate a little bit more into the rotation. Really good dribble setup here. Ooh, go for the air dribble bump, huh? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. The setup isn't amazing for the air dribble bump attempt. You kind of want to have a little bit better of control and maybe be going slightly slower for this air dribble bump attempt. You need the ball to be slightly back on your car a little bit more. That way, when you jump, you're not propelling the ball forward with your car. If that makes sense, what I'm trying to say. When you jump, you want the ball to go upwards and your car to go forwards. But because the ball is still like on the front of your car to an extent, you're pushing the ball forward as you also go forward. So you're giving him a pretty easy challenge on the ball. That's why you would want this ball to be a little further back on your car. So that way when you jump, again, the ball is kind of slowly trailing behind you. It's more so going upwards than it is forwards, giving you time to actually get ahead of the ball and get the bump. So as soon as you're making this dribble play and you notice that the ball is going too fast, you're going too fast, you're not going to be able to really set up the air dribble bump how it should be set up. You might have wanted to go for a flick here instead. Honestly, like around this point in time when you're going really fast like you are, might have wanted to switch up to a flick. Almost worked though, almost worked. This was a bit awkward. Let me go back. That's a decent little touch to maybe buy time. And then you just missed the next touch. Okay. Not too wrong with that. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Some of your touches need to be a little better. Right? You air rolled. What direction would this be? Air roll right? Yeah, you jumped off the wall. You just kind of air rolled the wrong way. Touch could have been better. If instead of hitting it like you did there, you actually get off to this side of the ball and hit it with this side of your car instead of this side of your car, you could have done what's known as a twist flip. You can YouTube a twist flip if you need to. I think Thanovic has a really good tutorial, or maybe it's Waitin Pilkin who has a tutorial on, or just a video explaining the twist flip. But twist flips are OP, man. If you can get good at twist flips, you're insane. Twist flips are nutty. But regardless, if you would have just got on this side of the ball and hit it in this direction, it would have been a lot better than just chipping it up to this corner here. I don't like to point out too much mechanical stuff when I'm doing analysis, because you can't really teach somebody mechanics in a replay analysis. I'm just going to leave it at that. Again, though, teammate just got demoed. Okay, he's alive at this point. Okay, he's had time to grab an entire full boost canister in whatever corner he spawned in. Okay, your opponent's air dribbling from his corner. Again, it's literally the same exact breakdown as the other one where I pointed out. One, your teammate is already in position to challenge. You can let your teammate challenge from a straight on position where it's super easy to challenge, instead of you awkwardly air dribbling or awkwardly aerialing backwards or straight up for this challenge. You should just be rotating back to defense, letting your teammate challenge, and either your teammate challenges and hits the ball, or he gets outplayed, but your opponent probably has no boost and the ball probably came to the backboard where you can easily bang it back to their half. You're just going up for stuff that you shouldn't be going up for. You gotta think, your teammate's spawned, he's had time to grab full boost, he's in position to challenge us. You don't need to go up and challenge this at your awkward. You've got a choice. Do you go up and challenge in a super awkward position, or do you let your teammate go up and challenge at a not awkward position? Obviously, you let the person who's not in an awkward position challenge. So you rotate to defense, let your teammate challenge, and you back him up. And again, like I said, he's air dribbling from his back corner. He already lost control of the ball. The play was never going to be threatening in the first place. But now you're 0 boost, and your teammate's kind of in a 1v1/1v2 for the entirety of you recovering. And you got scored on. So you really, really need to evaluate the threat of a play and think, do I even need to challenge this? Or is my teammate in a better position to challenge this? Those are things that it looks like you really need to be thinking about when you play. Your kickoff has been a little shaky, I'm going to say that. One time you didn't even flip on your approach to the kickoff. I don't remember. I think that was your first kickoff was the one where you didn't flip. I didn't mention anything because I wanted to see another kickoff. Maybe it was just a fluke. Maybe you were distracted. But you flipped too late on this kickoff. Just again, I don't like to give mechanical advice during a replay analysis, but this is a simple one to point out. You just flipped too late here. Bam, as soon as you get up to that pad, like as soon as your bumper is behind that pad, you need to initiate your flip. Like as soon as your bumper is like here, you need to initiate your flip. Just flipping too late, and by flipping too late, what happens is you land too close to the ball. If you would have flipped earlier, you would have landed slightly back further, and then your second flip can get you better, more solid contact on the ball. But when you land so close to the ball, by the time you jump again, you're super close and you're super far underneath the ball. That's why it's important to jump a little sooner, flip a little sooner, on your first flip, on your approach to the ball. So that way you're not as close when you land, and your next flip isn't just underneath the ball to where it easily gets forced over you and past you. Quick little explanation there. Not going to go any further into it. That was good. Again, it's like you're doing, sometimes you're doing the right thing. It's like your development of your level of being able to identify when you should or shouldn't challenge. You've got the ability, but you're at like level 1, and there's like 5 levels of recognition of when a play is threatening and when it's not. You're at level 1. I need you to level up to like level 2 and then level 3. And the higher you level that skill up, the ability to recognize when a play is or isn't threatening, the better and better you're going to be at the game. So this was like a level 1 read. This is a very easy read to tell that you don't need to go up for this ball. There's no threat here. So you don't, which is really good. What does your opponent do? Okay, he hits the ball at the backboard. Your teammate has a free ball. Thank you. Beautiful bump. Really sharp thinking there. That was really, really good decision making there. That was more of a threatening play for sure. This one, somebody does need to go up and challenge, and I didn't even really have track of where your teammate was at this point, so I don't blame you for going up for this. If we go back, teammate's somewhere off to your back right? So this is actually a pretty good challenge from you. This is a good decision to go up and challenge this. That one was fine. That was a threatening air dribble. He's at midfield starting his air dribble. If nobody goes up and contests him, he can go into a flip reset. He can air dribble it into the net. So this was a good ball to challenge. But again, this is like a level 1 read on the play as well. That's a beautiful pass. Good job, teammate. I know I called you out for your bad rotation earlier, but you really redeemed yourself with that pass there. Almost got to go for it. Another thing to be careful of. Same thing, rotating into the play. It's not as obvious here because this is something that a lot of people do. But you just got that back corner boost. Keep that in mind. You just got that. So it's not going to be up for 10 seconds. Bam, that ball gets past you. And you see what you did? You rotated into the play. You didn't even realize it. But bam, here, that turn. You turn back into the corner. Instead, when he goes up, you should be turning around this way. Turn around that way. Your teammate goes up the wall and challenges if he has to, or he waits for the ball to bounce off of the back wall and goes up for the aerial to challenge. And then you're behind him, backing him up. And this is why, even in this play, like it's not as bad here. And I understand, I really do. I understand why you turn back to the corner here, because you want to be able to drive up to the backboard. You want to be able to drive up to the backboard if you need to, and you can clear this across. But again, your teammate's here. Anything, cool. You could. In this play, I don't think you could. But in some scenarios, you could take this across the back wall. But he also could have just been in net. And if somebody came up for a shot, he blocks it. Or he goes up and he clears the ball to the corner. Again, it's one of those situations where you don't need to go for it. You could do that. You could bring it across the backboard. You could position in the corner in case you need to go backboard. But at what cost, right? It's risk to reward. The risk is you're now both in the same spot. The rotation becomes awkward. It becomes muddied. The positioning is askew. There's hesitation in your guys' gameplay. That is all the risk. The reward is you could have done something that you could have carried the ball across your backboard, but your teammate also could have cleared the ball from the backboard. There's really nothing to gain and just a whole lot to lose. And it's just one of those reasons. The new generation of Rocket League players, man, I swear. Y'all disappoint me. I'm just kidding. But you young guns got a long journey of learning ahead of you. You'll make the realization someday that sticking to basic rotations, sticking to the rules, sticking to your fundamentals in rotation and positioning, there's a reason that they are fundamentals, and there is a reason that they are guidelines on rotation. It's because they work. It's because they are tried and true. They've been tested for years and they just work. It avoids hiccups in gameplay. It avoids bad positioning. It avoids bad rotations. It's just always better to stick to rotation and to stick to fundamental rotations is what I'm trying to say. Was that worth going for? Let me back it up. That's the question. That's what we're questioning right now. Was that worth going up for? I don't know. I'm keeping an eye on your teammate right now. I'm trying to see how much boost he's using. He's using a lot of boost on that. He's just pretty much used almost all of his boost, right? Keep that in mind. I'm not the one playing, so this kind of slipped my attention. But this shouldn't have slipped your attention. Bam, your teammate's holding boost. Your teammate's holding boost. Boom, he's holding boost. He just used like all of his boost. It's gone. He's got no boost. So when you go up for this, who are you passing this to? Your teammate can't score this. Your teammate's not going to score this. He's got 0 boost. He's right in front of their net. What's the objective here going up for this ball? Nothing came out of it. What could you have done instead here? Now, with that in mind, that your teammate is not a passing option. Your teammate's not a passing option because he has no boost. He's in a bad position to receive a pass. What could we do instead here? I think the best play in this position is probably going to be the aerial up like you did, but don't even hit the ball. I think your objective here, it's a little difficult. It's not too bad though. Just come and land on the wall behind the ball, let the ball land on you, and then bam, you've got vision at this point of your teammate, and maybe you can flip the ball in front of the net. That's a much better pass, and by that point in time, your teammate could have picked up a couple pads and is actually able to go for the pass. Or you keep the ball as a solo play yourself, and you carry the ball as close as you can to the net, and maybe you're able to go for a doomsy dish, which if you don't know, you young guns, again, don't know what a doomsy dish is. It's when you carry the ball in front of the net, across the net, and you jump off the back wall and you flip it in. Just YouTube doomsy dish if you not picking up what I'm putting down. But you go for the doomsy dish. You could go for a much better pass after your opponent or after your teammates had time to collect a little bit of boost. You could just threaten the fact that you have possession of the ball on their backboard and possibly it makes them mess up. It's just the main thing to keep in mind here is you don't want to go for a pass here because your teammate's not a passing option. No point in going for a pass if you don't have anybody to receive the pass, because that means your opponent's going to get a free possession of the ball. Rotate into the play. Big thing for both of you. I know that boost in the back corner is calling your name, man. It's calling your name. But you're putting hesitation in your teammate. What am I on director cam? If we watch this from his point of view, bam. I mean, he could go for this ball, but you're kind of crowding it. You're kind of making it. You're putting second guesses into his mind. You're making him hesitate. He doesn't know if he should go. I mean, your teammate could have done this, played this out better as well. This ball, he could have waited for this ball to come back to the corner, honestly. A lot of things could have been better in this play from both of you. And yeah, a lot of things could have been better. He could have gone all the way back to the back corner, grabbed the boost, and then gone for this ball. Would have been a lot better. He'd have full boost going on the ball. But you could have rotated away from the play, right? As this happens, instead of flipping straight at your teammate, bam, come down, start picking up these pads, rotating out this way. And then perhaps your teammate doesn't hesitate. And look where you're at right now. You're in midfield. He could potentially turn, and that'd be tough from this angle, but he could actually possibly set you up with the ball around this area. You're coming from midfield with about, maybe 50 boost. That's a pretty good opportunity. That's a better play than what happens. Or he just bangs the ball off the sidewall, off of, anywhere, and you're coming from midfield again with 50 boost. You're at least keeping pressure at that point in time. And it's just another instance of how it's just an example of how tried and true and tested that basic rotation is. It just always call it a miracle, but just sticking to basic rotations, rotating away from the play, it just works, man. It just works. It just does. Rotating into the play. That boost is calling your name. I know. Pads, man. You don't gotta grab that big boost. Pick up the pads. Rotate behind your teammate. Bam. He doesn't have to hesitate here. Again, 29 seconds. Time is winding down. You guys got to challenge. You guys got to start throwing in challenges. Teammate wouldn't have had to hesitate if you weren't in the same position, right? He rotates back. He sees you're rotating behind him. And he doesn't have to worry about necessarily getting beat on this challenge. Bam, he goes, and he could have challenged at any point. He could have challenged from the moment this ball and bounces off the wall, he could have challenged. Or once he sees that this guy doesn't instantly bang the ball, he could have gone up and 50 that or challenged. He backflipped off of the ball, would have been a big win on the 50. But none of that happens because you rotate into the play. Your teammate sees that you're in a bad position. You're not backing him up. So he can't dive at the play. He cannot dive at the 50-50. He cannot dive at the challenge because if he does, there's nobody back. And that is the fault. That is the flaw in rotating into the play, is that your other teammate can't go for the ball, can't smartly, can't safely go for the ball. Oh man, you guys really tried at the end here. Really tried, you did. Not the best catch here. I would have gone for the demo on him, honestly. I mean, just not even hindsight, but right, you don't really have the pass. It's not worth passing at this point in time. You could pass this to midfield and then go for the demo. That's not a bad option. The catch could have been a catch straight on your hood where you could threaten a flick. That would be a great option. This catch sucks, right? If the catch was on your hood threatening a flick, he would not be turning the challenge right now. But because you lost control of the ball, he turns and challenges and the play's dead. But you did have an opportunity to go for the demo here. Bam, right here. Ooh, instead of going for the pass, you go for this demo with the ball is already rolling midfield. Your teammate would have had an open net, but it's all right. It's fine. You win some, you lose some, you learn. You live and you learn. You learned a lot, for sure. You guys had a lot to take away from this video, this replay analysis. But on the bright side, really the biggest issues were just rotating away from the ball, not rotating ball side, whichever way is easier for you to remember. I like the term rotate away from the ball, but I feel like it's a little bit easier to understand if you say don't rotate ball side. Meaning if the ball's on the left side of the field, you should be rotating back on the right side of the field. And just remember, stick to the fundamental rotations, man. Stick to rotating away from the ball. Stick to not rotating ball side. Even if that means you have to grab pads instead of grabbing a big boost, because it might be voodoo magic. It might be black magic. It might be a miracle. I don't know. I can't explain it. But it always works, man. It's crazy. It's mind-boggling. It's beautiful. But it always works. It does. I'm not lying. It always works. It's just always the better play. It really is. It's crazy. After playing this game for like 5 years now, it's the better play. And then other than that, your kickoffs could have been better. Your diagonal flip kickoff, just need to maybe touch it up a little bit. But your plan, your strategy on kickoff, I explained what I don't like about that. Oh, and then the third thing that was also really common in this game was reacting or challenging plays that are not threatening. Make sure you're not making a play that is completely unthreatening, because of the way that you react to it. You know, you're taking yourself out of the play, you're wasting a ton of boost for something that you didn't have to do that. And by you jumping and wasting all your boost and then also getting beat on the challenge, you've completely played into the person's hand. They had no play. There was nothing threatening that they could do. They were not going to score. But because of the way you reacted, you put yourself in a bad position multiple times this game. So those are your big takeaways from what I remember. I had to point them out a lot, but it's good that they were pretty much all it was 3 mistakes, pretty much 3 things, 3 main takeaways. It's not a whole lot to work on. It's a lot of fundamentals, which is kind of a little, discouraging. It means that you don't have the fundamentals down yet. And it also means that in this day and age, you can make it all the way to Champ 2 with no fundamentals. Back in my day, you couldn't get past Diamond 2 if you didn't have good fundamentals. So I mean, that's it. If you guys learned something, be sure, do me a favor, leave a like on the video, subscribe for more content in the future that's centered around making you a better Rocket League player. It's good for you, it's good for me. Share this video with somebody who needs to see it, who needs to stop rotating into the play. Leave me a comment down below on you know, tell me if you like the video. Tell me what you learned from the video. Give me your thoughts on my takes. Leave me a comment. Helps you know, helps start a conversation, keeps the video engaging. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.